Day program at O'Connell Falls Elementary School. On behalf of myself, Mr. Paris, Assistant Principal Mrs. Gosfeld, and Abrams Elementary School Principal Mrs. Machalski, we would like to thank you for joining us for today's celebration of our veterans. Today we are proud to have with us veterans from the American Legion Ike Sankey Post 302, the American Legion Machickeny Post 523, and the American Legion Auxiliary members from throughout the area, and many other distinguished veterans and family members. At this time, the American Legion Ike Sankey Post 302 Honor Guard will post the colors. We ask that you stand, remove your hats, and place your right hand over your heart as the flags are in motion and until they are posted.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Beverly Umentum, President of the American Legion Ike Sankey Auxiliary Unit 302, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, please welcome our Abrams Elementary School student speakers, Brielle Baumler, Kaden Conitzer, Evelyn Mua, Aiden View, and Kelsey Baumler as they share information about our Star-Spangled Banner.
The Star-Spangled Banner is the national anthem of the United States. The lyrics come from the defense of Fort McHenry, written on September 14, 1814, by 35-year-old amateur poet Francis Scott Key.
He wrote this poem after witnessing the bombardment of Fort McHenry by the British ships during the Battle of Baltimore in the War of 1812.
Key was inspired by the large U.S. flag with 15 stars and 15 stripes, known as the Star-Spangled Banner, flying triumphantly above the fort during the U.S. victory. The poem was set to the tune of a British pop song written by John Stafford Smith and was already popular in the United States. This setting, renamed the Star-Spangled Banner, soon became a well-known U.S. patriotic song. Although the poem has 4 stanzas, only the first is commonly sung today. The Star-Spangled Banner was first recognized for official use by the U.S. Navy in 1889, and on March 3, 1931, the U.S. Congress passed a joint resolution making the song the official national anthem of the United States, which President Herbert Hoover signed into law. Please stand if you are able, remove your caps, and place your hand over your heart for the singing of the national anthem presented by the combined 5th grade choirs from Abrams and O'Connell Falls Elementary School.
welcome 5th grader Montana Lato from O'Connell Falls Elementary School as she shares a poem about Veterans Day.
Veterans Day by Cheryl Dyson. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, but all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
Please welcome our next 5th grade student speakers, Jade Smith, Aubrey Learman, Austin Darby, Bentley Nicholas, and Sean Konstansky from O'Connell Falls Elementary School as they share ways that you can honor a veteran today and every day.
How to honor a veteran. One way to honor a veteran is to greet them with a smile and say thank you for your service. This is a great way to show respect and honor for their many sacrifices, including being away from family and friends for long periods of time while defending our country. We are so grateful for their service, knowing that they risk their lives to protect our freedom.
Another way to honor our veterans is to show our support for programs that focus on the service, sacrifice, and selflessness of our military service men and women. The Honor Glory Flight Project is a mission of gratitude that celebrates America's veterans by inviting them to share in a day of honor at our nation's memorials. Their vision is to create a nation where all of America's veterans experience the honor, gratitude, and community of support they deserve. We are very proud to have veterans in our area take part in honor flights to Washington, D.C., New York, and throughout the world. At this time, we ask that any veterans who have been part of an honor flight project to please stand and be recognized.
The Wounded Warrior Project reminds us that every transition back to civilian life is a journey, and for every warrior, caregiver, and family member, that journey is different. The Wounded Warrior Project is an organization that honors and empowers veterans who have received a physical or mental injury, illness, or wound during their military service on or after September 11, 2001. It provides a variety of services to these veterans, including adaptive sports opportunities, family support, mental health and wellness services, and access to many additional resources. The Paralyzed Veterans of America began in 1946 to serve the needs of disabled veterans. This group was created to help veterans that have spinal cord injuries or diseases become independent and valuable members of their communities.
This national organization provides support by offering quality medical health care services, research and education, veterans career programs, and recreation opportunities. It helps give our brave men and women an opportunity to regain what they once fought for, freedom and independence. There are over 40 different veterans organizations in the United States. We are proud to show our support to honor our veterans and their service to our country.
Please welcome Mr. Bob Maloney, President of the O'Connell Falls Area Veterans Monument, as he takes the roll call of veterans.
All the kids stand up, please. All the kids stand up. Everybody know their right hand? Raise your right hand, okay? We're going to teach you how to salute, and what you do now with this salute is when you go home and your mom or dad says, take out the garbage, you say, yes ma'am, or you say, yes sir, okay? And when they say go to bed, you say, yes ma'am, and yes sir, okay? So this is how you're going to salute. I'll just call you to attention, hand salute, and then I'll say two, that means the end of the salute, okay? Everybody got it? Attend hut. Attend hut. We didn't salute yet. Attend hut. Hand salute. Thank you. You can be seated. Okay, that was fun. Veterans, thank you for coming today. Your families mean so much to us, and we appreciate you showing up today for the kids. So as I read your name, please stand and remain standing, and if everybody would hold their applause until the end. And also, kids, if your family member is here, if your mom and dad, or brother or sister, or grandma or grandpa, or aunt or uncle, or your friend is here, please stand when I read their name, okay? Dale Ackley, Army. Christopher Adams, Army. David Amos, Army. Michelle Amos, U.S. Coast Guard. I'm sorry, David Amos was U.S. Coast Guard also. Paul Anderson, Marines and Army Nation. Wesley Ispero, Marines. Mike Booth, Army. Jonathan Voss, Air Force. David Brown, Army. Bill Chaplinsky, Army. Edward Christensen, Army. Owen DeKaiser, Marines. Jim Delphos, Navy. Jake DeMullen, Army National Guard. Gerald Denny Sr., Army. Matthew DeTage, Army National Guard. Doug Dool, Army. Delbert Nolloway, Marines and Army. Tim Dunkel, Army. Tim Eichmann, Army. Bob Eiding, Army. Peggy Fall, Army. Troy Fowler, Army. Jim Gatz, Army. Jim Gleason, Army. Bill Grady, Army. Rodney Granke, Marines. Vern Hamill, Army. Timothy Harmon, Marines. Fred Herbeck, Army. Louis Hobia, Navy. Melissa Hudson, Marines. Matt Krieger, Marines. Chris Maderer, Army. Earl Mackey, Marines. John McCook, Navy. Bob Maloney, Navy. Gerald Markovitz, Army. Paul Martinez, Navy. Justin McFall, Army. Ken Myers, Army. William Mickle, Army. Tom Milheiser, Army. Dennis Miller, Navy. Kelly Novak, Air Force. Richard Peterson, Army. Alan Phillipson, Marines, Army. Linda Rivamonte, Army. Vicky Rysek, Army. Mike Roth, National Guard. Michael Russ, Navy. Ernest Rysek, Army. John Chanelek, Army. David Shefdor, Navy. Danae Shinkowski, Army. Bob Schindel, Marines. Max Schmidt, Navy. Earl School, Marines. Richard School, Marines. Mike Schrader, Marines. Glenn Seitz, Army. Keith Saline, Army. Angie Zambali, Army. Eric Simon, Navy. Andrew Smith, Navy. Roger Spotty, Army. Vaughn Spalding, Army. Terrence Spice, Army. Todd Stoikov, Marines. Judy Stroik, Air Force. Ronald Strum, Marines. Robert Telford, Air Force. Jason Towsey, Navy. Jay Towsey, Navy. Kara Polageski, Army. Jack Valentine, Air Force. Leslie Butch Vorpal, Navy. Ron Williams, Army. Garland Winter, Air Force. Jerry Winter, Army. Clay Orhanowitz, Marines. David Wozencraft, Navy. Peter Wozencraft, Navy. Rick Crumrine, Army. Mike Krause, Army. Tim Kamsher, Marines. Dan McDermott, Marines. Judy Osborne, Navy. Greg Mikulski, Marines. Carrie Whitman, Navy. Ken Young, Marines. Lindsay Serfton, National Guard. These are your veterans here today, folks. Do we have a couple more? Come on up. I saw the shirt. I'm sorry. We tried to get everybody signed in at the front entrance, and Tony Kaler, Navy. We have another one? Marcus Cruz, Navy. We don't want to miss anybody. Anybody else? Okay, kids, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Attend hut. And salute. You're saluting your veterans here now, folks. Kids, you're saluting your veterans. 2. Have a seat. Thank you very much.
Please welcome Abrams Elementary School 5th graders Emma Eichengulik and Aiden View as they share another poem about our brave veterans.
Veterans are brave men and women who are still alive today. We thank them for their service and the price they choose to pay.
Each day we live in freedom, and our memory does not fade. The reason for the freedom comes from sacrifices made.
So we celebrate our veterans on the 11th of November. We thank them for their courage and pledge to always remember.
Please welcome our final 5th grade student speakers, Abigail Gillum and Addison Peters from O'Connell Falls Elementary School as they share appreciation for our veterans.
We want to thank you, veterans, for your service to our country and for being with us here today to celebrate Veterans Day. Thank you. This morning, we would like to conclude our program with a tribute to the official songs and hymns of the United States military service branches, the Army, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy, and Air Force. And although our medley does not yet include its official song, we'd like to acknowledge the our newest branch of the Armed Services.
A tribute to the armed services includes the Army Goes Rolling Along, the Marines Hymn, Semper Paratus, Anchors Away, U.S. Air Force referred to as Red Blue Yonder. It is the ultimate musical tribute to patriotism that includes America the Beautiful as the finale selection. When your branch of service song is performed, we ask veterans to stand and be recognized with a round of applause. And now, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students from Oconto Falls Elementary and Abrams Elementary Schools are proud to present a tribute to the armed services.
Army. this time, we will retire the colors. We ask that you once again stand, remove your hats, and place your right hand over your heart as the flags are in motion and until they are retired. Thank you. Thank you again for attending this morning's Veterans Day program as we celebrate our veterans and thank them for their service. Please join me in giving them another round of applause.